Welcome to Small Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome into Small Business Saturdays. My name is Aaron Montgomery. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook ads specifically. And so challenging topic to cover because there are, according to what I've heard, there are 67 different versions of Facebook. So what I see and what you see most times are very different things, just depending on what all you have set up and what they think you want to see. So we're going to do our best. We're going to get into some of the basics here today. We're going to get into talking about things like adding customer lists, adding lead lists, creating lookalike audiences, the difference between a couple of different types of ads that you can run. And I want to dig into some of the concepts of the basics of it. Now, with that being said, I don't know exactly the best way to describe it. I understand Facebook ads. I get them. Some days I love them. Some days I hate them. I'm not so sure of their business model all the time. So I would not consider myself a guru expert on Facebook ads, but I would consider myself enough of an expert in them that I can give you the basics. I can give you what you need to get started here with them, and then allow you to get in there and learn and test. And part of getting good at Facebook ads is getting in there and spending some money. So I've wasted a lot of money over the course of the years. I've had some money that was really well spent over the course of the years. And so it is a bit of a catching lightning in a bottle. But if you do some methodical things, and we'll cover a little bit of that. But really, I want you guys to at least get a basic understanding so you can at least run a few things here and there to try things out. And then, as we grow and as things move forward, we'll work on getting a real Facebook ads guru inside of our Success Group's training program. So that will be coming soon. But I wanted to do this for you guys that are here for the Our Success Group private members group, as well as those folks that are joining us from Club OSG. So with that being said, let's check in here this morning. Good morning, Kylene. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Facebook user. So here's our challenge when we go inside of private groups like this. Facebook does not like to play nicely with StreamYard all of the time. So I'm sure many of you have done this before, but if you will do it again, I will put the link up here real quick. Excuse me. If you'll go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and then just give them permission to show your name. It's not a big deal if you don't want to do that or if it doesn't work out. I will still interact. I'm not in Todd's camp where I still start saying F you to everybody. Facebook user, okay? But anyways, so we can still interact. But again, if you could do that, StreamYard.com/Facebook, that would be fantastic. We appreciate, so we know who we're talking to there this morning. All right, so let's dive into this. We've got a lot to cover. Let me just quickly go through the list of things that I want to cover here today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload an email list as an audience that we can then use to market to after we've uploaded that list. So that could be a lead list. It could be your customer list. Maybe you want to upload your customer list and you want to run an ad that puts a new product you have or a new service you have in front of just your customers. So you can do that. So that's the first thing we're going to cover. The second thing we're going to cover is creating a lookalike audience from an email list. So once we've uploaded that lead list or whatever list it has, Facebook will do what they call a lookalike audience, where they will, using their algorithm, go out there and say, okay, we think that these people are most similar to the people that you already have on your list. And so it kind of gives you, okay, if that's my target market, then I can go a little bit wider and grab people that aren't on my list. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a pixel and talk a little bit about installing that on your website. Now, that's going to be different depending on what your website is. I've actually got a really great blog post from Hootsuite that goes through in-depth details that you can go back and check out later. But we'll hit the high points and just give you, so you can kind of see it in action a little bit. Then we're going to talk about running basically we're going to talk about the difference between a couple different types of ads that you can create in Facebook. The first one is an engagement ad, basically meaning that it's an ad intended that they will use their, again, algorithm, what they feel is best to put it in front of people that are most likely to engage in it or to get people to react. So we want to do these types of ads so we can kind of, it's a way to qualify people in a sense. It's like, okay, so I want you to look at this post. I want to boost this post as an engagement ad because I want you to answer the question on it. Because then what you can do after you do that, then you can run a conversion ad and we can set our target audience for people that engaged with another post, engaged with a video, something like that. So again, trying to hit the high points here. This is not a full-on everything you ever needed to know about Facebook. We're going to hit the high points, give you guys something here. As you have questions, I'll do my best to answer them. As things come up, just pop them in the comments there. I'll try to get back and forth. There's going to be a lot going on here. I'm going to be over here looking at a screen. In fact, probably during that point, I'll just have the screen up. In fact, let's go ahead and put that screen up right now. There. So so like I said, I'll be over here looking at a screen. Now I do have this little fun pointer thing. So hopefully that'll help you guys follow along. So yada, yada, yada. All right, good. We all good? Any questions, anything that came up right away? Anything in particular that you guys are like, hey, I'd really like to know this. And what I'll do is if it's a question I can answer, I will certainly try to answer it. But if it's not a question I can answer, then we'll figure out somebody that can. That's kind of what we do here at our success group. If we can't answer it, we find somebody who can. We've had tons of great trainers come in and help us out with areas that maybe weren't our strengths. And so we've had Google Analytics, we've had CorelDRAW, we've had branding with Jay Bassell, we've had Amazon with Eric Campbell just recently, we've had Ali Banholzer covering all sorts of things from production workflow, really is where she started, and what metrics to measure inside your workflow. But she's going to be back. We've got several other things in the works with her. In fact, next Small Business Saturday, Ali is going to be here talking about a priority matrix. So anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I just want to make sure you guys are all set, ready. So if you are ready, and you can throw a comment in there right now and just let me know you're ready to dive into this. We will, again, first thing first here, we will tackle how do we upload a list. All right. So I'm going to do that. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put up the screen, full screen. You guys don't need to see me because I'm going to be off over here kind of trying to do these things. And again, one more quick reminder. If you're trying to kind of follow along inside of your own Facebook and things don't look the same, that is absolutely completely normal. There are, from what I've heard, 67 different versions of Facebook. Just the way Facebook works, they think they know better than everybody else. So they're going to put in front of you what they think you want to see. So just go with the concept, not necessarily all the exact steps that I take here. All right, because my page is going to look different than your page. So, all right. So with that being said, I am going to close those notifications and we're going to dive in here. Again, if you guys can just let me know you're here. I'm a little concerned that we're not getting a lot of comments, so I don't want to be moving forward if we're not ready to go yet. But I'm going to do it, and I trust that you guys are tuned in and ready to go. So here we go. This is my Facebook homepage. Once I log in, this is what it looks like. Again, everybody's just going to look a little bit different, curated for what Facebook feels is your best view, how you're going to, basically they want to put something in front of you that's going to make you stay on the page as much as possible, and while at the same time putting as many ads in front of you as we can. So quick comments here. Another Facebook user joining us here this morning. Good morning to you. If you will do us a favor and head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that should give you permission. I'm also going to pop into, I don't know if I can do it in the comments or not, if it's going to show up. We'll try. If you do want to head over to YouTube, you can do so at that link. Nope. So I'm putting it up here. Let's see if I can grab that. You know what? I'm actually in. Here's a little trick. We will put it in both places. I'm going to comment while I'm in Facebook. There we go. So if you want to head over to YouTube, I will also comment over in the Club OSG group. Where are you? Of course, it's not readily available here. And there we go. So I'll put it in both of those. So you guys, if for whatever reason you'd prefer to head over to YouTube, you can do that. All right, good. So good morning, Melanie. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so back to the home screen here, and I will get that off of there. Oh, Melanie, we got you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you doing that. All right, let me take off that banner. So we are good to go. Again, lots of things happening in the background here, so I apologize to be a little all over the place, but hey, that's half the fun of this, right? All right, so again, back to we're uploading. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna upload a list to Facebook that we can then use as an audience. And an audience is basically who are we going to put this ad in front of once we decide to run that ad. All right. So again, yours might look different, but you basically want to get to Ad Manager. You can also probably get to it from your account up here. No, I guess it's not on mine anymore. Let's see, maybe menus, there, menus and ads, whatnot. But basically, you want to get to the Ad Manager. And for me, that takes me to the business side of things here. And I've got a couple of different, so I run most of my ads over in a business page, but we're just going to show you on my personal side, so that way you can kind of see things from the ground up here. So once we're at our ads manager, I want to go to the business home page. And I want to get to the event manager. Ultimately, when I'm uploading a list, again, like I said, yours is going to look different than mine. So ultimately, what you want to get to here is the event manager. When you're trying to upload an audience, you want to go to the event manager. So once you get to that event manager, we're clicking in there right now. And you can see I've got several audiences already created data sources here. Oops, you know what I'm doing? I started the wrong way. All right, regroup. Sorry about that. All right, back to here. Back to our ads. I'm showing you a pixel already. I want to get to audiences, duh. All right, so now I'm back on track. So again, still want to get to that business home, but ultimately what you want to get to is audiences. Apologize for that, guys. There we go. Okay, so we're loading audiences. And again, you can see I've already got several audiences created in this side, but I'm going to head over to just a different blank account so you guys can kind of see from the ground up here again. All right. Now, before you do this, what you want to do is you want to have a list of your customers, whatever this audience is that you're uploading. Maybe it's your lead list or something like that. You want to have that as a CSV file. And a CSV stands for comma separated value file. So you'd want to just export your list from wherever into a CSV file. Maybe you have it as a spreadsheet and you need to export it as a CSV or whatever. So that's the first thing you got to do before we even get here. And I've got my CSV files all set and ready here in my folder, ready to go. And we're going to upload one of these lists. This is the smallest one, so we'll do that one first so it processes a little quicker. So then from there, we want to, again, reach people who matter to you. So we're going to create a custom audience. And what is your source? Now, you could create a custom audience, and this will be a little more advanced. I'm not even going to get into it, but from people that visit your website, but that'll be with the pixel later on. There's also other sources that you can choose from. And I would recommend just getting in here and playing with this a little bit and kind of seeing the people that you get in there. But again, don't get, if that's going to cause you too much grief, don't worry about it. There's a lot of stuff in here that we don't necessarily need right away anyhow. So we're going to select customer list. All right. And then I'm going to continue on. And so you can add your add to a business. So that way we're linked in there. Let's see here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use one that I don't have a link to anything else yet. All right. So there we go. Oh, of course it doesn't want to. So we're going to cancel that. All right. So you do have to, and this is what again, I wanted to start from the ground up so we could see what you might run into here. So since this is a personal, from my personal page, not a business page, I can't link those pages and I can't create a custom audience. So we're going to go into my business account, which you can set up there, and we'll create an audience. All right. So again, custom audience. So now it looks a little different from here. So we go create audience, custom audience, and we're going to select customer list. And from here, it talks to you about preparing a list. You can import stuff from MailChimp. This will give you a template if you want to get things direct. I really just kind of use my lists and then map them in later. So I'm just going to click next here. And then it asks you, does your list include a column for customer value? So basically this means that you've calculated how much each customer is worth to you on average. So maybe your average order value is $50. And so each customer, each person that purchases on average spends $50 with you. So you would have that value in there. All that does is just gives you that reporting column to see basically, was this ad worth it or not? You can kind of figure that out on your own. I very rarely actually add the value to this, but it certainly is up to you. But typically I would hit no there. And now I want to upload a file. You can just drag that file into here, or you can hit the upload file button. I'm just going to drag mine in. So we'll go here, we'll go leads, and then we want to name it. Name it something that you'll remember. So we're going to call this new leads 060521. All right. And you could even add a little deeper description if that's going to help you later on, as you'll see once we get there. I've got a lot in here, so adding those descriptions can be helpful once you go in there. But we're going to skip that for now to save the time. Now it's going to automatically map anything it can figure out. So we've got some email addresses here, but then we've got another column that is a column of first names. So we can either choose to do not upload that, or we can go down there and map it to first names. Anything that you can map, I would highly recommend mapping, because even if Facebook doesn't find that email address in there, they might be able to get close enough that they would feel like, okay, this works. So if you got a first name and a last name and a country and an age, or any of that information that you can map in here, the more likely you are to have a bigger, more full list. Because if they don't find these email addresses that we're uploading, it doesn't become part of the audience. So you lose that opportunity to market to that person at that point. But for this particular list, all we had was that other first name column. I'll show you a longer one here in a second, but like I said, I just wanted to get this going. So once we've got that, we've mapped them. Now we say import and create, and it, boom, 177 rows uploaded, and we can be done here. Now, I wanted to also, again, use that bigger list that has more columns in it, just show you, and we'll let that process in the background. So we'll do the same thing again. We're going to go custom audience, customer list, and from here we will, again, just skip through all this stuff. You can, I do highly recommend, here's, I guess, sorry, before I get too much further along, you are not going to break it, all right? We're not even getting anywhere close to running ads yet. There's lots of things that you have to do before it starts taking money from you. So I would actually highly recommend getting in here and just playing with as much of this as you can. And you can go back and delete stuff later, or just leave it. Like I said, I've got a whole bunch of different things in there because I've done a lot of testing and trying and whatnot. And it it doesn't harm a thing. So don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid to get in there and give it a try. You know, if you've got a MailChimp deal, import it from MailChimp, try that out. You check out this file template and tells you, you know, so again, they're looking for one of these main qualifiers. Email's typical, but phone numbers work too. If you know their Facebook page user ID, which I doubt you do, but it'll also look up first and last names, stuff like that. And these other identifiers, again, if it's not sure, it's going to kind of cross-reference and go from there. So there we go. All right. And again, no customer value because I don't have that in. You have to have that in your spreadsheet ahead of time. So I don't have that, but you can certainly add that. This time we'll click upload file so you can see the difference there. And yep, I just want to pick this master list and I'm going to change the leads master list. And I'm just going to, I like putting the date on things. So then again, I know, all right, when did I do this? And then I can go back and delete or update, because that's the other thing that I'm going to show you here in just a second as well. So next, and it's got the phone and the email, but there are other columns in here that for some reason it didn't automatically map. So I've got first name that I can do. I've got last name that I can do. I've got city. It looks like some of them are empty. I do have a state. Yep, I can match those up. This is an internal tag that I've used to kind of figure out the differences there, so I don't need to worry about mapping that. Does it do a company name? I can't remember. Nope, it does not do company name. And then again, just own internal notes from that spreadsheet. So those three I don't need to map, but the rest of these are mapped. So now I can go and hit import and create. Now this is a little bit bigger file, so it's going to take a little bit. So while that's, oh, there it goes. So 6,000 rows entered right there. Okay, so now I've got those two custom audiences. It's going to take it a little while. It's processing in the background here. So it's probably going to be until later today or tomorrow that anything actually shows up here that we can do. So we'll use some of these other ones here. But I did want to show you one other thing that you can do, because as you get new leads, you don't have to do all the work to kind of clean up your list or whatnot. So let's say I wanted to add more to this list right here. And I'll show you one more. Actually, you know what? Let's add one more audience. Sorry, before I get to that. All right. So one more custom audience, customer list, and again, we've covered all these things, so we'll move through that a little bit quicker. And upload file. And this time I want to add. Now this time I want to add a list of customers, because I need this list also. I don't want to, if I'm not sharing something new, I don't want to spend money putting ads in front of my current customers, because two things: A, that's money I don't need to spend. B, that's annoying for them. Whenever, I don't know, for me, that's super annoying. If I see an ad of something I just bought, I'm like, I just bought that. It's super annoying. I'm not, so I don't want to have that again. So what we want to do is, as you get new customers and things like that, every once in a while, you want to update this list, because then we can use this audience as a way to exclude those people on this list. All right. So again, members, put a date on it. So 521. Again, whatever your naming convention is going to be, go for it. Right. And so this has got a date, and this is actually a date when they became members. So I don't want to upload that. Email, phone, zip, country, party topic. Wow, interesting. Nope, we don't need that. We could go and there's a whole bunch of other fields in here. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to keep moving forward. You guys hopefully have that understanding. So we're uploading that 55 rows. Perfect. All right. Now let's say that I've got some new members that we added that we want to get on the list before we market to other people to try to get them to become members. So I can click on this, and then I can go here. So once I click on this, you'll see it come up over here. You've got some different actions that you can do. And they like to put buttons in several different places. So whatever works for you, you can go to edit here, or you can click edit down here. and you can you could actually replace the whole list and just delete everything that's in there and put in a new list. I typically, what I want to do is add customers to it. So, or maybe you've got some people that are no longer customers that you do want to now market to. So you could actually have an upload of ones that you want to come off the list. But for this particular instance, we're going to do add customers, and it's basically just the same thing. All right. So now I'm going to just add, maybe let's say that particular list is my new members that I want to get on there. Again, the same thing. And now again, all this stuff happens in the looks like there's still one on map identifier. It basically telling I just wanted to upload anyways. There we go. So it's removed any of those people. And again, all of this stuff then processes. You'll see these notes in here about it populating right in this area here. So while that's basically working right now. All right. So from there, so that is how we upload a list into our audiences in Facebook. So any questions about that before I keep moving forward? And I can come back and get questions. So if you do have questions about that. But next, I want to move forward here to creating a lookalike audience from that list. All right. So with all that, what I want to do is, so you can see I've got a lookalike audience here, and these are some different things like that. But let's go with people that have liked our page here. I've created that custom audience. And again, if I do custom audience, and then I can do it from my Facebook page or maybe a video or something along those lines, you know, those are all custom audiences that I can create. And then once I have those custom audiences, let me go find the member list here that I've already had in here for a little bit. Let's see here. Here we go, current OSG members. So what I can do is if I click on this, I go up here to actions, and I can create lookalike. Now, again, what that does is it's basically just Facebook saying, hey, we've got all this data on everybody. So we're going to take that data, we're going to compare it to the data of your list that you already have there, and we're going to give you a list of people that are very similar to that you can then advertise to. And so let's go through this process here real quick. So your lookalike source, we've got that, no problem. We can just kind of keep it to the USA. Nope, United States. There we go. So only United States, or you can even go into particular regions. Maybe I only want, let's see, we're going to Kansas City here soon. So maybe I only want, is it going to give me more than just, okay, so we got countries. Why want to do Missouri? Oh, it's only doing countries. Okay, interesting. I thought you could go even deeper, but apparently not, at least not right now. Okay, so we're gonna keep moving. All right, and so again, you can do a few things. Now, here's the next part. This is where you need to kind of take it and figure out what you want to do, and maybe it's worth. So this lookalike audience is going to be pretty large. So this basically goes out 1% of all their data, and these would be what they say are 1% close to that. If I go to 2%, you see it goes up to 4.74 million. Again, if I go out further and I want to go 5%, it gives me, you know, and so now we start getting into this big number where I'm spending a lot of money to get in front of people that maybe I don't want to be in front of. So I like to keep this a little bit lower. Oops, sorry, down to 1. Now, what you could do is you could create 2 of them and have one that's out to 1%, and then your 1% to 2%, and to go out a little bit further. And you could try each of them, try the same ad to both lookalike audiences and see which one does better, right? And then if the one that's a little bit further out, the 1% to 2%, actually does better, then maybe you want to try to go another bit further here, and we go to 3, and you could even make that a little bit bigger. So now you're kind of getting all these other things. So we're just going to go with 2 here, and then we're going to hit create audience. I wonder if I can browse this a little bit further. I want to go a little bit more, narrow this down. No, it's really not going to let me go much further, is it? All right, well, what the heck? Let's see what's in the North American Free Trade, United States. Okay, we're just going to stick with the United States. All right, so create audience. Here we go. It's creating a lookalike audience. And again, it will process. And so there you go. Now it's saying that our source is too small. And so maybe I need to go use a different source here. So we can select different sources. So let's go with page engagement here. And maybe we'll just do 1 and create. All right, so now we've got this lookalike audience, and again, there's all sorts of different ways that you can go about that. But what a lookalike audience ultimately does is it tells you, hey, okay, you've got this data, but we can expand that for you. And really, what that's doing is, yeah, it's allowing you to get outside of people that aren't on your list, but you also have to be aware that, you know, this is also them saying, hey, let's put your ads in front of more people so you'll spend more money. And so you just have to keep your eye on any ads that you run with those kinds of things, because it may not be of huge value. And then you kind of got to come back to the drawing board a little bit. Okay. All right. So any questions on that before we keep moving forward here? The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to create a pixel. And that's where I went a little early, but we'll get back to that. So I'm going to keep moving, and if you guys have anything that comes up, feel free to pop it in the comments there, and we'll go from there. So, all right, now we're going to create a pixel, and I mentioned that I was going to share a link to a really good article here. So let me copy that in there, and let's get it into so you can see it. And I will come in and copy this into the groups here in just a little bit. But if you'll go to blog.hootsuite.com/Facebook/pixel, this is an excellent read, and we'll go into the nitty gritty and all the details. Like I said, my goal here is to try to hit the high points for you, and then go from there. So, with that being said, let's do that. So the first thing, and you'll notice up here across the top, I'm going to just use an Ecwid store that I have to install this pixel on. You can do the same thing in Shopify, in on your website. So basically the idea is here, what a pixel is it's a little 1x1 pixel square image that is embedded inside of this code that then gets put on your website. And you have to take this code that it's going to give us, and you'll see all this, and we have to put the information into our website. And then when somebody goes to your website, that little pixel they'll be basically send data back to Facebook saying, hey, somebody was at this web page, and then you can create a retargeting, what they call retargeting ads. So if you've ever gone and like you've searched for something on the internet and you ended up at their page, and then you come back into Facebook and now all of a sudden you're seeing ads for them. In fact, let's see if I've got one that would be an example here. I'm sure there's an ad that pops up at the top here that is something that I've searched for. No, none of those are conversion. Let's see, sponsored Nextdoor. Yep. I was on the local Nextdoor the other day. I checked out Hulu ads the other day, so I've been seeing some of those. Oh, not as many ads today. There we go. Yep. I've looked at Mevo cameras. So there you go. So basically, most of the ads that I'm seeing are things that I've gone and searched for. So with that being said, that's why we want to have a pixel, so we can quote unquote retarget or remarket to people that have been to our website, and then we can go from there. So get to our home here, because now I want to get to that place where I jumped ahead of the game, but I want to get, you want to get to your event manager. All right, so I'm going to click on event manager here. And I've already got a bunch of pixels installed on different things already, but and there's some where I've got to go fix a few things. Yep. So just got to kind of keep up with it. But what we want to do is we want to create, connect a data source. All right. So lots of different ways that we could do this. What we're talking about here is our web. So we're going to choose connect your website to share activities. And we're going to hit connect. And if you know about creating APIs, then over here, I have no idea about that. So what I want to do is I want to do a Facebook pixel, and then I want to hit connect, and it's going to tell me all about it, give me more information, yada, yada, yada. So you can read all that. And we're going to then enter the name for the pixels. So we'll call this one montco.biz, and you can call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call it test for now. And if you wanted to, you could see if it's going to even help you. So there's my website. I'm just going over here to copy it. I can put it in here, and it'll take a look and see, hey, will it automatically link this pixel in or not? I don't believe so with Equid, but we'll find out. All right, so there we go. It's creating up. It is going to help. So select the partner integration, Equid, confirm, not Euclid, Equid. And we can get into some advanced things here. Grow your audience size. There we go. And it's going to tell me how to do it. So it's walking us through the whole thing here. Of course, it's not, because I've increased my size. There we go. And so it's telling me that I want to paste my pixel ID. Okay, great. And again, so it's walking us through what you need for your particular site. That's helpful. I hadn't seen that before. It'll tell you to verify it. So here's our pixel code right here. So let's play along. We want to copy that. Now I've already added this, but if I go to marketing, Facebook ads, and Equid, because I've already set this up, so I'm just going to go change pixel ID, and we'll put the new one in there. We'll go save, and now we'll come back to, oops, wrong page. Now we'll come back to that. Now we'll say next, and again, we'll enter our website again. So it'll send a little traffic test here. And it's checking in the background for me as we speak. So you can see it's got the info that's kind of being sent over. So then up, and it says, yep, your pixel's working correctly. So it's active. Now we can set up events. So like an event would be maybe when somebody goes to purchase something, but they just go to your cart page. So we'll hit buy now on this. We'll add a single, add to cart, and then we're going to go to our cart. And you can see that this website up here is different, right? This is montco.biz/cart. So I can use that and create an event. And my event is going to be cart. And we go open website. So it'll create that event. And now it's connected. So we go next, and we'll test. We can test the event in the event manager here, and test event. We'll put that website back in there. Okay, so that event is there. So we can close all that up. And back to this, and we hit finished. So now we've got a pixel, right? With this pixel, again, now we can come back and mark it to that later on. It hasn't received any activity yet, so it takes a little bit to kind of process and go from there. So the other thing we can do is we can get in here and do some event setup. So yeah, you click on that button and whatnot. Now, if for whatever reason you're, I don't even know where to nowadays in this new stuff. So overview, diagnostic. Okay, trying to remember where, because you can also get code that you can just paste right into yours. So again, go through that. If you run into anything, just post in one of the groups here, and we'll see if we can kind of point you in the right direction. But that's ultimately what we want to do, because now we can use this, and we'll come back and use that pixel. So now we've created that pixel, we've installed our pixel. Now this is going to give us data. And as you can see on one that I installed a while back, it gives me all of the data, and I could mark it to people that have come to the website. I could mark it to people that have added to the cart. I could mark it to people that have purchased if I've got a new product here. So I can do all that if anybody searched. So it gets all that information. We can look at the history here of any changes that we've made. If there's any diagnostics like this one here, it'll tell you all about it. I basically accidentally put a pixel into the wrong web page. So I gotta go clean that out. No big deal. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our pixel. All right, so any questions about that? And make sure, okay, cool, no questions about that. So let me come back on screen here for 1 second. So again, as you can see, these things change. Something that I had done less than a week ago now looks completely different. So now they've built in this way to help you automatically get that pixel installed. And so that's helpful. But, you know, again, it just takes kind of digging in, going through, reading. There's lots of, here, let me get this back up. You know, you can go through and read more about it. It's got how to fix the issue, gives you more information. If you hover over these little eye looking things right here, it'll give you more information. So just, again, my biggest point here is don't be afraid to get in there and try some things out and test some things, because here's the best part. If for whatever reason I don't want that to be the case, all I've got to do is go in here, and I should be able to let's see here, we edit that. You can change stuff up, you know, and you just get rid of things. So this is the actual pixel that I want. Here's the pixel ID right here. There, because that's a linked version. So I'm going to take this pixel ID, and I'm going to go back and change it back to what I had before. Just head over to Equid here. I'm going to change my pixel ID, and there we go. So nothing too crazy that you can't fix. So don't get too caught up in, oh my gosh, I don't understand this. The best thing you can do is go ahead and give some things a try. All right. So with that being said, again, any questions, any thoughts? Where are you guys at with this? Feel free to put those in there, and then we'll go from there. The last two things that I want to do here are just talk about running an engagement ad and running a conversion ad from engagement. All right. So back to here. Let's close a few of these things up that we don't need anymore to clear some clutter. And we'll go back to our business home. And I want to go to Ad Manager. So let me fix this real quick so you guys can actually see it. Make it a smidge bigger. Okay. So now that I'm back here at Ads Manager, now let's talk about running some ads and the difference between an engagement ad and a conversion ad, and what those mean. So basically what I want to do here is I want to hit create. And from create, we've got all of these different, and you can learn more, dig into that. You could use an existing campaign that maybe worked, but there's the two I want to talk about here are an engagement ad and a conversion ad. All right, so an engagement ad, get more page likes, event responses, or post reactions, comments, and shares. And the reason, again, I explained this at the beginning, but the reason that we want to do an engagement ad is so that, again, we can get more page likes. Basically, it's a way to qualify people. So I don't have to put an ad out there and put it in front of a whole bunch of people that don't really care. I want to put it in front of people that are engaged with my traffic. And so we want to start with this engagement ad as a way to kind of, again, target, get people to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in learning more. So we'll click an engagement ad, and then you figure out what type of engagement, either post engagement, page likes, or if you've got an event that you want people to respond that they're going to, this would also be a good way to run that. For this particular case, for what I'm doing right now, I probably want to either pick page likes, I want to get more people to like my page, or I can do post engagement. And we're gonna do post engagement. So you can name it if you want. It doesn't really matter. We can put our campaign in here. We're gonna say video engagement. All right. Oh boy, spelling bad. There. Okay. So again, this stuff, you can dig into it. I kind of just fly through it because I've read it all before, and it didn't really do anything for me in that particular, in what I'm trying to do here. But again, read through that, understand what's going on there. Next thing is what's the ad set, and we're going to again say video engage. Going to set your daily budget. And you can be as low as $5 here. I would also, and it'll then start telling you if I put $500, we're going to have a whole lot of reach and hopefully a whole lot more post engagement. But I'm going to spend $500 a day, right? So I don't want to do that. I'm going to start with just $5. I can set a start date, and then I would recommend, unless you're jumping into your ads every single day, I would recommend putting an end date just in case you forget, right? So I always do this as just a, hey, you know what? I want to make sure that I don't mess this up. And, so maybe just 3 or 4, so if I'm doing $5 a day, I'm willing to spend $25. So I'll go 5 days out, 5 to the 9th. And you can set your times and all that other stuff. Get into that. You can get into more options. You don't really need to do that. So here's where then I can take and use those custom audiences that we had, and I can use a saved audience, and I can go in here. I'm sorry, use a saved audience, or I can search for an existing custom list. And here's that leads list that we loaded up before. So maybe I want this group of leads to see the live video that I did last week. Maybe that's what I'm going for here. So I'm going to use this list. Now, we also, again, had that list of people that are already members that I don't want to put an ad in front of. So I'm going to exclude our members list. Okay. So now I got both of those. I can add other demographics and things like that if you want to change that up and test it out. Here's the real trick, though. When you're testing, when you're doing these things, make sure that you're really only, when you go back and change things, you're only changing one thing when you do the next test, right? So again, at only $5, I'm probably not going to get very far with all this, but that's okay, right? Now I know if I come back and so maybe we're going to say that we're willing to spend $50 over the course this time. We get a little further reach, and maybe we need to not have anybody here in, maybe we need this audience to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to instead use that lookalike audience. and go from there. And now you see that lookalike audience is a bit bigger. I'm still excluding my members, but now I'm getting a little bit more post engagement. So you can go in and change all that. But maybe I know that really my target market is ladies, females, women, and we can put that in there. Maybe I know that people that are younger than 25 just aren't interested, and I know that people older than 60 aren't interested. So we can refine that down again. The whole goal here is to try to refine this down to where we get the action that we want, but we're not spending money getting in front of people that we don't want to get. So in this particular case, less is more, right? And so we're going to test that out, okay? So placement, automatic placement's fine. You can put in some different stuff here. Again, all more advanced and probably not really needed to get too deep into. So we'll do that. We'll pick the page that we want it to go on, our success group. We can also link in our Instagram if you've got that set up. We can use an existing post for this, for our ad, or we could actually create an ad. In this particular case, I'm just going to go ahead and create an ad. So I need to select, I need to add media, add an image, and I think I've got some in here. Now I'll upload. And let me find one that would be appropriate here for what we're trying to do. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. Oh, I know why. In the wrong folder. Like, where did that go? I had one right here. All right. So maybe this is our ad right here. Okay. Oops, doesn't like the size, so I'll pick the other one. I couldn't remember which it was going to go, so that's why I have those both here. Okay, we'll do that one instead. Yes, it likes that one better. Okay, next. Yep, all done. Okay. And put our text. Right. So you got whatever your primary text is going to be up there. You can see it kind of changing over here. Our call to action button, we want to learn more, and then we need a web page to go to. So we'll have them go to the main page for right now. Go. That fixed all that. So now we got our learn more. We can then connect it to a pixel. Maybe, so I've got a pixel on the OSG website, so it's already connected to it if that's where I want it to go. If maybe this was an ad for montco.biz, I'd use that instead, right? And there we go. And now we're good. Now we publish. So that's an engagement ad. And we want people to do that. Again, we could also, instead of doing this media here, we could come back up here and use an existing post instead and select post there. So maybe the Q&A, let's see, why does it not like that one? Oh, video is too long. So, but I don't want all posts, I want videos. Publish post. Maybe let's find something on Instagram. There we go. Now, let's go back to Facebook. All right, let's find something that we can use here. All right, I know this is a video, so nope, it's not a video. Dang it. Give me a video. I don't have a short little bit. No, okay, so close, but yet so far. There, okay, I did have, oh, it's too long. Darn you. Now we're cooking with gas. There we go. Okay. So now we can do learn more, send a message, put that website video in there. or put the video in there. Okay, now we're all go. And now all we got to do is hit publish. Okay, now I'm not going to publish this because I don't need to run this ad right now, but that's what we want to do. So that'll save in draft there. All right, so that is an engagement ad, and that's why. So hopefully that worked. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, whatever questions you guys have, go ahead and put them in there. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is we're going to talk about a conversion ad. All right, so same process here. We're in the ad manager. We're going to go create, and if I've got that draft, it might actually put me there automatically, but I want to start from scratch here. So I want a conversion ad, name the campaign. I don't need to waste your guys' time with that. You guys get all that. We'll leave that. New campaign, A/B testing, don't really care about any of that. You can put your name there, change the name here. Now, here's where we can say, okay, our conversion event is website, app, messenger, WhatsApp. So we're going to do website, and then we're going to select a pixel. And this is that pixel we install on the Equid site. So it's retrieving the event. And this is where we want to, come on. Oh, here it is down there. Okay. We want to basically anybody that's been to montco.biz, we want to do a conversion ad. Now, again, pick your daily budget, do all that. Like before, I always like to set an end date just to make sure, and just in case I forget about it, to go turn it off. But what you do want to do is you do want to go look at these things pretty regularly. So again, we can leave the audiences. I always like to make sure I put my exclude audience in here. If you've got that list uploaded, people that you just don't want to get in front of. So maybe that's the members again. So we've got all that. On a conversion ad, I would spend a little bit of time kind of refining down your target as far as the age group that is your ideal customer. So maybe it's the 30 to 50 set or something along those lines. And again, we'll target women, and we can add other demographic information in there if we'd like. The more we can refine this, the better off you're going to be. And then you can come in and just tweak this and change it. So maybe open things up or try men instead of women, that kind of thing. Again, automatic placement, you can do all that, get into the weeds on that if you want, but again, not 100% necessary. And our success group. And now we're going to add some, we can just use products that are available there. So we can dynamically have the different products. So we can just stick with that if we've got a catalog uploaded already. Or we can change to media. Oh, no, I guess on this one. Why is it not letting me change that? Oh, here I can select all products. Okay. There we go. So sublimation done for you. Whatever it is that your text is going to be, and maybe this time I want it to go specifically to a segment on the page. Did I click on it? There we go. And so we'll put that website in there. We can also add some other headlines and a description that are all going to show up and do different stuff like that. Shop now is our call to action button. Perfect. So there we go. Now we've got, again, you get in here and do a little bit more, but now I'm ready to to place that ad. Now this is going to now try to put it in front of people that will go to the website, hit that shop now button and buy. Right. So that's a conversion versus engagement. All right. All right. So that's what I got. Again, not going to publish that, but we'll come back here. Looks like internet's a little low, so hopefully this is going too funky. But anyhow, that's what I've got for you. That's Facebook ads. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, not trying to give you the master class there, but wanted to give you a taste, wanted to kind of give you an idea, the beginner's guide to it. So let me know what questions you have. Again, post it in the groups here, and we can get it sorted out. But hopefully that was helpful for you. I am going to get off to the rest of the day. We've got about an hour in here. So again, hopefully that was helpful, and look forward to seeing everybody again next week. For next week, here's what's coming up. We've got Ali Banholzer going to be joining me, and hopefully some our success group members will be joining as well. And we can get in there, and we're going to talk about using a priority matrix to better make decisions inside of your business. So stay tuned. You'll see some information coming in both of the groups, the Club OSG group and the Our Success Group private members group, coming up here probably either today or tomorrow. We'll start posting information there, but you'll have a priority matrix spreadsheet that you can use. And then again, we're going to have Ali on. She's got a video that she's kind of put together of some brainstorming stuff that you guys can do ahead of time here. And so look for that stuff coming here in the next couple of days. But same time, back at 9 a.m. Central Time. And hopefully that will be helpful for you guys. So again, creating and using a priority matrix happening on June 12th at 9 a.m. Central Time. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. And we will talk to you all again soon.